How many times have you landed the perfect drone flight only to realize in the edit that you captured the wrong angle? I wanted to find out if that problem could finally be solved. I have two drones at the same location and I'm doing the same flight paths. One is the DJI Air 3S and the other is the anti-gravity A1 360-degree drone, and some of you may not have even seen this drone before. And today I'm going to be flying both drones through the exact same 4 cinematic moves. That way you'll see exactly where one pulls ahead when it comes to editing, because that's where these two drones really start to differ. Let's start with the forward fly. This is probably the most common shot beginners fly first, because you just pick a line and you fly it and hope it looks cinematic on the other side. So let's see what both drones can do with exactly the same flight path. We're going to fly straight under this bridge. First up, we're going to do the Air 3S. It's smooth and honestly, it looks great. That's what a good drone does. It makes even a simple move look better. But notice what you're actually locked into here. You've got one angle and one perspective. What you film is exactly what you get, which is great. Now here's the anti-gravity A1 flying exactly the same line. We're doing the same move here. We're just moving forward, flying under this bridge as we did before with the Air 3S. Okay, so this is the same forward shot. It looks almost identical to the DJI shot, but because this drone records in every direction, you have much more flexibility when you're editing. That same forward pass gave me these extra shots. It gave me a reverse angle, which is the exact same flight path, but it's reversed the other way around. It gave me a shot looking straight down at the water below. And we can get this with the DJI, but we would need to fly and record it again. But this one's my favorite, looking up through the bridge as it passes overhead. Try getting this shot with any conventional drone. Now with the A1, we only did one pass through that bridge, just like we did with the Air 3S, but in the edit, it becomes a completely different video. Now we're going to put both drones into sports mode and we're going to fly along this trail across the bridge. And then I'll show you the edited version and you'll see how much different each drone can be. The next test we're going to do is called the orbit. Now the orbit is one of those shots that always looks impressive. You basically just fly a circle around your subject, it looks smooth, and you get a great parallax effect where your subject and your background feel separate. First up, we're going to do the DJI drone, which is the Air 3S. We're going to use circle in the quick shots menu. And as always, it's genuinely beautiful. It's smooth, it's controlled, perfectly executed because it's all automated. But just like before, you're locked into one perspective. The camera faces inward, the drone circles, and that's your shot. Now here's the anti-gravity A1 flying the exact same circle. We're using the Sky Genie orbit setting in the drone, so it's automated as well. You do have to understand though that they won't look exactly the same in camera, as the lenses on each drone are very different. The A1 has two 360-degree cameras filming in every direction, and most DJI drones have one camera pointing forward. As you can see, the orbit shot from the A1 is a standard orbit shot, and on the surface they look fairly similar. But because it films in every direction, you can look outwards. So now the subject is behind the drone and you're seeing the wider environment, which would be very hard to fly a conventional drone for this angle. And then we can look straight down as well, and it gives your shot a completely different mood. Or if there was something interesting in the sky, you could look up and suddenly this feels like an abstract shot. As before, the orbit didn't change. The flight path was pretty much the same. What changed is that the camera wasn't locked into one direction. So now we have far more angles to work with when we're telling the story. Now that we're 2 tests in, I guess you can see that there's already a pattern forming here. Next we have the top-down shot. Now the top-down shot is one that looks stunning when you see someone else do it, and then sometimes you try it yourself and it just looks really boring. The usual fix I do is to descend or ascend while rotating, which adds a bit of movement. So that's exactly what both drones are going to be doing here, although with the A1 I'll do the rotating in the edit. So here's the Air 3S descending and rotating at the same time, and it looks good. The movement gives it life, and the image quality is really sharp. The angle and the direction and the feel of the shot, all of that is locked in the moment you press record. Now to do this with the anti-gravity A1, you couldn't be easier. Except with the A1, you don't need to point the camera anywhere specific because you can't, it's fixed. You just descend. It doesn't even matter which way the drone's facing. We can just go into the edit and tweak it a little and just scroll that camera down, and we can add the rotation with keyframes. And this is the finished top-down shot from the anti-gravity A1. But we can also have a shot where we're facing forward because we filmed in every direction, remember? So it can just look like a straight descent shot while you're facing forward. But you can also do this where you mix the angles up to roll it into one shot. You only had to fly it once, but in the edit you get to choose between good and bad angles. And you also might find a few angles that you might forget to film with a conventional drone that you automatically have here because you filmed it in 360-degree view. This next test can sometimes be a very tricky shot, but both of these drones make it very easy. And this shot is called the tracking shot, and the tracking shot is where a lot of beginners feel the most pressure because you're chasing a subject, trying to keep it framed, trying to stay smooth, and all the while making creative decisions about angle and distance in real time. Most of the time you'll look at that shot later and think, it wasn't as smooth as I wanted, or I didn't line it up perfectly. But there are easier ways to do it. So we're going to track a vehicle on the same road with both drones and see what each one gives us. So for this first shot, we're going to use the DJI Air 3S and we're going to use the active track feature. You just select tracking mark on the left here and then go to your vehicle and highlight the vehicle you want to track, flick it to active track and press record and away we go. And as usual with DJI, it does exactly what you want it to do. It locks onto the car, stays smooth, and the results look genuinely cinematic. And I always love how these shots look, but again, you are committed to that angle in the air. Now we're going to use the Anti-Gravity A1's Deep Track feature. All you have to do is click the menu button on your controller, then click on Deep Track on the left, and you can see that the controller buttons come up on the left-hand side showing you exactly what to do. So you just select your vehicle, and then you can select whether you want to do front track, side track, or whatever, all in that moment, and away we go. Obviously, the front tracking shot, which is similar to the DJI, is very good and perfect, just like you want it to be. But we can take that simple shot in the edit and create this. Once again, you get so much more room to create beyond just trying to get it right while you're filming. But I want to show you something. I've edited both these drones in a sequence so you can see the real differences between them. Let's look at the DJI sequence first. Now let's look at the A1 sequence and just remember, no extra shots were filmed beyond what we filmed with the DJI drone. So now you've seen both edits back to back, and before I give you my verdict on it, I want to give you a bit of context about where my opinion is coming from. My first ever drone was a drone called a Parrot, which had a polystyrene body. I think it only had a 720p camera, and the footage was so bad, it's funny to even look back on. But I was obsessed with it because just flying something felt like magic. I hadn't seen anything like this before. So when I tell you that the Anti-Gravity A1 gave me that exact same feeling, understand what that means to me. In 30 years of photography and 10 years of flying drones, I've only felt this once before. So here's where I land on this. See what I did there? If your goal is to simply get out there, fly a drone and capture great looking footage, a DJI or any other decent camera drone is still an excellent choice. The image quality is outstanding, the flight modes make cinematic moves accessible to absolute beginners, and you'll get great results you're generally really proud of. I've been saying that for years and I still mean it, and I'll continue to fly them forever. But if your goal is to create the most cinematic videos possible, and especially if you're a beginner who doesn't yet have the experience to make every creative decision perfectly in the air, the Anti-Gravity A1 gives you something that's very difficult to match, which is creative freedom after the flight is over, and when you can experiment without burning through another battery. And then there's the goggles. They're properly immersive, and it really does feel like you're up there flying with the drone, not just watching it. What I really like about it is the front screen lets other people see exactly what you're seeing, which is a nice touch. They're very comfortable to wear for long sessions. In fact, probably the most comfortable goggles I've ever worn. But mostly, they're just really fun to use. And for a beginner, that changes everything because the hardest part of learning to fly cinematically isn't just the flying, it's making the move choices and the composition choices and the settings choices all at the same time. This drone lets you separate those things. You can fly first and create later. If that sounds like the kind of creative freedom you've been looking for, I'll put a link to the Anti-Gravity A1 in the description for you and below so you can take a proper look at it and decide if it's right for you. The next question most beginners ask is, how do I actually use a 360-degree drone to get cinematic shots? And that's exactly what this next video answers. I'll give you 3 cinematic 360 shots that anyone can copy.